What up, YouTube? We back with another video. It's day 38 of the 90-day challenge. We're posting every day for 90 days. Listen, man, I know yesterday was a good one, man. I started teaching a little bit more. I started talking a little bit more about what I've been learning, the books I've been sharing, the books I've been reading, and also the science behind all this, man. It's really possible, bro. You just got to really figure out the science behind all this. There's a way to do things. There's the way to do things. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. So I know yesterday I spoke about the 7 Hermetic Laws, and this is the foundation. This is actually something that we should learn in school. This is the foundation of how the universe works. And I want to say Hermes Gistus created these. I'm about to start making stuff up. But listen, these are things that we should definitely know and definitely learn. So I'm going to start with y'all. I'm going to give y'all each one. There's 7 of them, so I'm going to start with the first one. So the first one is mentalism. So the all is mind. So the whole idea about this is that reality originates in the mind. Everything we experience is a mental projection from a universal consciousness, the all, right? And some people can call that universe, some people call that God, or whatever you want to call it. Is the master key that unlocks the understanding of all other laws. Like without grasping the law of mentalism, you won't grasp any other one. So it is the foundation. And of course you're going to ask me, right, how does this pertain to my life? How can I apply it to my life? What does this mean to me? So you have to understand that your beliefs and your thoughts are the source of your external reality, right? So you start always wondering, you start blaming everybody else, but have you double checked and see what you think? Are you thinking positive? Are you thinking negative? Are you thinking, how are you taking responsibility and accountability of your life and your thoughts? It's the same thing with, people forget about it. Thoughts are just like you going to the gym and working out. The same exact thing. You work out on a bicep each and every day. The bicep is going to grow, and it's the same thing with thoughts. You keep thinking about positive, the positive is going to compound and accumulate. You think about negative, the negative is going to compound and accumulate. And it's also, we put projections on. We make things positive or negative as well. Like we can get into an accident, we can make that a positive or a negative thing. You know what I mean? That's all based off of your consciousness. So pretty much this principle teaches us that our inner world creates their outer world. And that's really one of the most important things. So these are ways that you can apply it to life. You can visualize the reality you want by visualizing success, wealth, and prosperity. Visualizing that and holding that in your brain, holding that in your mind. Because after, say if you're a person who think negative all the time, we can learn to substitute those negative thoughts for positive thoughts, or negative habits for positive habits. And once you start to do that more repeatedly, you're going to start seeing a change unfolding. So we have to reprogram our subconscious beliefs through affirmations and repetition. So through those affirmations and the repetition of those affirmations and those beliefs, those sink into the subconscious mind. Because the subconscious mind is only responding to what you think and what you feel is real. You know what I mean? Like the mind has no right or wrong. If you're thinking negative, negative is going to produce. You're thinking positive, positive. The mind is not going to be like, oh, he's thinking negative, I'm going to stop that. No, that's not how it works. So the daily practice could be just aligning with your vision. That's all you got to do. Just align with your highest vision. And like you got to also think your attention is your most precious resource. That's why everybody in this world is trying to grasp your attention. Because once you bring your attention to more and more things, that's where the energy flows. And where energy flows, money goes. So if they can grasp your attention, that's the most valuable asset that you have, is your attention. The more attention you bring, think about it, the more attention we bring to certain products, how much more money they can make. And I think about this all the time. Me and my boy Grant Cardone, he started to bring attention to his real estate. Look how many people know him now that invest with him now. You know what I mean? He used the social media the right way, the marketing. So where your attention goes is where it determines what you create in your life. So start paying attention to what you create. What are you paying attention to? Where's your focus at throughout the day? Start paying attention to those little things, right? So I know we might have a couple questions that I have for this, that as I was reading it and going through it, that I came across. And like I said, I put this in ChatGPT, and ChatGPT helped me kind of analyze this as well. It's like, Like, what does this say about the subconscious mind, right? What does the video say about how the subconscious mind shapes our reality? So a lot of the subconscious mind is a storehouse of beliefs and emotions that shape what we attract and perceive. By programming it with repetition and visualization and meditation, we align ourselves with higher outcomes. You get what I'm saying? So the subconscious mind is important. There's a book out there by Dr. Joseph Murphy, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. Go order it now, today. Because a lot of times when you're not manifesting, the reason why sometimes, a lot of times, we're not manifesting what we want because we have programmed certain things in our subconscious mind that are contrary to what we think conscious do. You know what I'm saying? So like, what we program in our subconscious mind a lot of times is what manifests. So that's why they got to tap into that subconscious mind and reprogram that conscious mind through visualization, affirmations, repeating affirmations and belief and feeling. You just saying I'm strong, it's going to help, but you have to truly believe. You have to compound that with a feeling. So that's going to help you align more with who you are. So the second law, right, is cause and effect. And like I said, y'all got to write these down. Pay attention. I'm going to try to see if I can put these up somehow. But these are important. These are important because these are pretty much the law of the universe. These are the laws of how the universe works. These aren't any moral, like these just straight laws of the universe, things that for us that we can't change. So the second law is law of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect, right? So this is pretty much saying like nothing happens by chance, right? All events have an origin in thought, emotion, and action. And what this law allows us to do is take self-responsibility, take accountability of our actions, take accountability of our thoughts, feelings, emotions, whatever the case may be, right? And it allows us, it shifts us from victimhood to really like a co-creator, a conscious creator, right? By showing that our present is a result of our past, often invisible. Now, of course, like I said, I'm gonna go each and every time. How does it pertain to my life? So your current level of wealth or struggle is a direct result of past thoughts, choices, and habits. So a lot of times, right, Carl Jung talks about the unconscious, right? So when you're not paying attention to your thoughts, your actions, and that's not even getting to karma with this one, but I think it has some correlation. But a lot of times, Carl Jung says this. He says something like this. I'm paraphrasing it, but he says something like, something about, oh my gosh, I gotta find it. It's something about with your unconscious, and when you're not aware of your unconscious, you think it's fate, right? I gotta figure out what that quote is. But a lot of times, it can come from how we were up, like the time we were upbringing, how we saw wealth, how we saw certain things. That's why healing is so important, and understanding and truly believing like, hey, I have to get on the right path. And this is why I'm starting this journey, because this journey is showing that no matter what you go through, you can make the conscious choice by starting today. By thinking positive, being positive, doing good things. Not saying good, doing the right things. The right things, you get the right results, right? So how do we apply this to our life so we can set intentional causes, right? Positive habits. So we can replace those positive habits. We can replace those negative habits with positive habits, right? We can goal set, visualization, getting the feeling of what it feels like to be whom you are, right? Understanding karma is not a punishment, but a balancing force. Karma is the reason why we're here. Without karma, we wouldn't be here. So we have to use karma as a stepping stone, as a tool for us to learn from our past to be better, right? So we be proactive, right? Don't wait for life, create life. So watch your thoughts and your intentions daily. That's something that I'm working on, and I'm being really intentional about, because yesterday I talked about it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And that's what millionaires and people who are successful and rich, it's not what they do, it's how they do it. They're intentional about their actions. They don't spend all this time working 9 to 5, 12-hour, 24-hour shifts. They might do sometimes early in the stage, But eventually, the goal is to not work that long. The goal is to work intentionally and be real intentional about something and do it at the highest, most excellent degree, right? Like for instance, with basketball, I used to be in the gym for hours, trying to work on everything. Even in the gym now, I'm in the gym trying to work on everything. But now I'm being real specific. Hey, I'm going to hit this muscle, or I'm going to work on my feet, switching the ball to my left, to my right, my pickups. I'm going to work on that detail to perfection. Not to perfection, but to perfection. You know what I mean? I'm going to work on that intentionally. Hey, I want to work on this. So now when my pull-up come off, I'm getting it off faster. You know what I mean? Or even working on like right now, my workouts me and my dad, we work out in the morning. So right now it's just been, we do arms. We do arms. Certain days I got on, we in there for an hour. But that hour is gonna, instead of being there for 2 hours and you get sore, hurt yourself, we only in there for an hour. That hour, we can do that more for a long time. We can do an hour for a year straight. Instead of doing 2 hours, you get hurt. Now you're sitting out for two months. We just did a whole 12 months. You did 10 months. You know what I'm saying? For that 1 hour. So it's being intentional about what you're doing. Number 3, the third law is vibration. Everything vibrates, nothing rests. That's the one, no matter what you see, is vibrating at a frequency, is dense, right? That's the main thing that we should know. We have to know that all of existence is in constant vibration. Thoughts, emotions. Thoughts have a vibration, a frequency. Emotions, matter, and spirit are vibratory in nature. Everything is in vibration. So this is the bridge between the physical and metaphysical. Directly connects with mentalism. You change your frequency, you change your experience. And this is what I'm going through now. I'm changing my frequency. I'm seeing how I'm more loving. I'm less moving in fear. I'm more moving in love, in joy, in just, like I said, you grew up in Philly, man. Like you always on your toes, right? You always on your toes. But I started to realize and started to believe that my presence is my protection. And that's what I truly, truly believe. Of course, I'm not naive. You don't got to be naive. But I truly know my presence is my protection. And if I follow my intuition, I'm always win. You follow your heart, you always win. But this is also important because you change your frequency, you change your vibration, you change your experience of life. You change the people around you, you change your experience of life. This also goes along with perception. And so how does this pertain to your life, right? Your thoughts and emotions emit frequencies that attract matching experiences. And that's what I'm working on. I'm looking for me right now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be real vulnerable with y'all. Right now, I wanna be in a relationship. I wanna be in love right now. So my whole goal was to become who I wanna. I'm looking for the reciprocal of myself. Become that partner that I would want. Loving, caring, understanding. You know what I mean? Becoming that person. Healed. Someone who's healed. I don't want all that toxic stuff no more. That's just an example of what I'm saying about emit frequencies that you attract matching experience. So you attract, like attracts like, right? So low vibrations, fear, doubt, they repel abundance. So if you're in that constant fear, that hustle mindset, you're gonna be able to get it, but you're never gonna be able to have it, enjoy it, because you're always gonna be chasing for the next thing. And that's what the one thing I ain't gonna lie about basketball. I'm not saying about basketball necessarily. I'm actually go about real estate. Like the real estate wholesale, it got to a point where I was just chasing deals all the time, and then I burnt out. Man. I chased that hustle mentality. Now I'm just at the point where it's like, I need to attract those things into my life. Instead of me going to chase that, I need those people to come to me, and that's real. Think about all the times you see these people get handouts, but these people come looking like, hey, they see you doing something, they like, hey, I want to check this out. What you got going on? That's where I'm at with it. I'm looking to attract those people in my life, and I gotta be conscious of how I speak too. I'm looking to attract those in my life because we have to be conscious of how we speak and how we talk, because you're emitting a spell. You know what I mean? So you got to be conscious of that. So Your thoughts and emotions emit frequencies, right? So low vibration, fear, doubt, repel abundance. High vibration, joy, gratitude. You have to be in gratitude. That draw it in. So what can we do, right? So you want to feel abundant before it rises. Act as if you already have it. And people always say that, and I used to be like, what does that mean? What does that truly mean, right? And it's more about not saying you go out there and buy a car or, because I used to think that, but it's more about the feeling you have within yourself. The feeling within. You have to feel abundant. You have to be abundant. You have to act abundant. You have to do things that abundant people do. And it's so funny because I used to be like, well, I'm gonna get these, I'm gonna buy this. But say if you're from an abundant mindset, right? You don't gotta buy certain things because you got it. I remember my coach told me that. She was like, I was like, no, I want to get this course because I want to do this. She's like, all right, Chris, you got to make, she used to tell me, like, make decisions from the billionaire Chris. Make decisions from that person. And there are times where you're like, I don't got to buy that. That's not you. That's not fear. You know what I mean? That's just like, I don't need it. That's cool. So avoid environments and media that lower your vibration. The media. Use music, breathwork, nature, and affirmations to elevate your state. Elevate your emotional state, love, gratitude to attract aligned realities. That's so true, man. I hope y'all getting all this. So one of the questions that I had, I'm like, okay, cool. They talk about science. So what backs this? What backs this scientific? What scientific evidence do they have to back this law of vibration? Right? Is this real? In quantum physics, right, particularly the double slit experience and research from, y'all look up this heart math showing emotions affect our electromagnetic field. Positive emotion like love emits coherent frequencies that affect reality. And a lot of times too is that heart. Y'all got to talk about the heart. We always talk about the mind, but also the heart. The heart emits an electromagnetic field too. So that's why a lot of times for men, they tell them that we gotta open up our hearts more. Because your heart also emits a frequency as well, more than your mind does. So that's why, if you act out intentions from the heart, that's why, I don't know how to say this, but I heard one time, right? This might be woo-woo for some people, but when the spirits look down from above, they check your heart. They look at your heart. Where your heart at? Is your heart heavy? And Egyptians talk about that. Is your heart heavy or heart light? Is it heavy with guilt, all this stuff? But that's a different story. I don't want to speak too much about that. But yeah, look up the heart math. Heart math does a lot on the heart and mind coherence, and that's what I struggle because my mind wanted one thing, but my heart wanted something else. So I was in conflict with my heart, my feelings, and my mind. So I'm still learning to integrate both. So we're all in alignment. So my energy is going in alignment. Before my energy is going this way. How can I manifest when my energy is going opposite in direction? So now I have to realign and bring it together so I'm able to manifest what I need to manifest in my life. So that's something that I've dealt with and I struggle with as well. So we're going to talk about the law of correspondence. So as above, so below, right? As within, so without. So the one thing that we talk about is the core idea. The macrocosm reflects the microcosm reflects the macrocosm. So a lot of times they talk about that the internal reality mirrors external life. So they talk about, like, I watched this one guy, he said, like, you pretty much are a microcosm of the universe. Like everything that's out in the universe you have within yourself. I can't deny it. The one thing I've been doing for me is I don't disbelieve or believe, right? I seek truth. I might look at something like it might spark something in me, and I go find out whether it's true or not. I don't try to disbelieve or I don't try to disbelieve or believe, because once you do one or the other, it kills it, right? And a lot of times that's what we struggle today, because a lot of times we don't know life. No one has figured out life. So, but this fourth law is as above, so below, as within, so without. It reveals how inner transformation creates outer transformation, essential for spiritual alignment. And that's what I'm going through now. How it pertains to you. Your internal state mirrors your external world. If you're disorganized mentally or emotionally, your finance and relationship also will reflect that. And that's so true. That was for me. And I was always like, why am I so inconsistent? Because my thoughts and my feelings were so inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? I was so in conflict with my brain. My heart wanted one thing, my mind wanted another. And then I noticed, like, when things will align, then they'll go haywire. And that was so true for me. And that's why I'm looking to align myself. I'm align myself with wealth, not chase it, be aligned with it. So when you heal your inner world, you have to heal your inner world to shift your external reality. From cells to galaxies, patterns repeat. Use this to decode life. Maintain inner harmony, clarity, and focus to influence other success, right? Cultivate emotional discipline and clean up mental clutter. We talk about number 5, the polarity. Everything is dual, everything has poles. Up, down, left, right, male, masculine, feminine. Opposites are the same in nature but differ in degree. Ooh, love, hate, hot, cold. I always see this one thing, they always say, without love you can't hate, without hate you can't love. Without cold you don't know hot, without hot you wouldn't know cold. So this pretty much teaches that extremes are just points on the spectrum. Helps reframe life challenges and emotions as dynamics. I really don't know what that means. I gotta look more into that. Teaches that extremes are just points on the spectrum. Wealth and poverty are not opposites, but degrees on the same scale. You can move your frequency from lack to abundance by shifting your mental polarity. I gotta look more into this one. I get what it's saying, but I don't really understand it. So they're pretty much saying you could transform. So I guess pretty much what they're saying is, it's the same thing, right? Because without the one, they couldn't have the other, right? So we can also, like, this is one thing I like to do that I've been doing. I've been reframing adversity as part of the path towards success. That's what I've been doing. Practicing alchemy, moving your thoughts up the polarity scale. So thinking about, so when I do have these thoughts, right, I surrender and I let them go. I acknowledge them. Now I just see them as what they are. I don't try to make it good or bad. I try to practice non-attachment in a certain way. And like I said, some people might say that's wrong or whatever the case may be, but that's where I'm at now. That's what I'm learning, to just view them as what they are. They're just thoughts. They're gonna come and go. And the one thing about your brain, one thing about your mind, it can trick you into believing whatever it wants you to believe. So that's why you have to stay disciplined. And disciplining your vision and your heart. That's why they say it's your heart. Because your mind can trick you. Your mind can make you, I could turn all y'all into cult. I can make this a cult. Like, yo, y'all need to follow me. You know what I'm saying? The way I talk, the way I move, y'all might want to do that. You know what I'm saying? To pertain to a certain cause. Y'all see how all these people get brainwashed and something like that, but it's really your heart. So your mind can trick you into believing whatever you want to believe, into doing whatever you want to do. Your mind's been wrong so many times, but your heart never wrong. You know what you feel in your heart. Your body never lies to you. Your mind does. So we want to transmute emotions, right? We want to transmute emotion by shifting degree, not fighting, but rebalancing. That's a good one. So we want to rebalance, right? Turn fear into love by moving along the polarity scale. That's so awesome. That's so awesome. And I hope we understood that. Like I said, I'm not understanding fully on that one, but I understand it from application. And these are like all things that y'all can just work on. Do it by example. Just try them. Try these different things. Look them up for yourself. Don't listen to me. Try for yourself. Now we got law 6, the law of rhythm. Everything flows. Everything has its tide. So everything rises and falls, right? These cycles that we live through. Spring, fall, summer. You know what I mean? Physical, emotional, spiritual. We have to learn to accept impermanence. Things won't last for long. You know what I'm saying? You might be going through a hard shit, but it won't last for long. And this doesn't, these laws aren't here to hurt us or anything. We're just here to see them and work with them, align with them. Don't fight them, you know what I mean? How it pertains to your life, understanding this helps you remain centered in downturns and humble in upswing. Even setbacks are temporary. All this is temporary. Like me going through what I'm going through, you going what you're going through. It's just a setback. It's temporary. It's temporary. It might not seem like that. It might not seem like that, but it's temporary. You know what I'm saying? So don't panic. You don't have to panic when you're in the low. Just use it for reflection and preparation. Use it to become more present with yourself. To understand, okay, I'm here for a reason. What do I need to learn? What do I need to do in order to, what do I need to act on? What do I need to really reevaluate? This is how I've been using my time. And you also need to use it like that too. It's like when I hit these low points, it's like, okay, what do I need to reevaluate? Sometimes it is what it is, or it is what you create, or like I said, I'm gonna stop saying that because it is what I want it to be. It is what I created to be. So if I want to use these times to, okay, I'm going through this time slowing down, things are slowing. Let me reflect. Let me heal. What else do I need to heal from? And I want you to align with these natural rhythms, right? And stay detached from extremes. Use breath and awareness to stabilize during emotional swing. Plan and save during the up cycles to weather the downs. And that's something I didn't learn. And that's something that's so true important. Plan and save during the ups. That's so vital, man. I never looked at it like that, because when you up, you going around using all this money, you going around running around doing what you're supposed to do. But plan and save, because you got to know there's a cycle. Like we in a cycle with the real estate, or cycle in sports, with basketball, your life. You know what I'm saying? At one time you was like, for me, my cycle was I played freshman, sophomore. I didn't have the craziest time, but my cycle came my senior year when I started to really cultivate myself more. I had a crazy cycle, right? It was the up. I was on the up. That down didn't last for long. It was only 2 years. Imagine how long 2 years seem long in the time, but it's really not that long. And last but not least, we're going to go with the law of gender. Everything has its masculine and feminine principle. All creation arises from interplay between active masculine and receptive feminine. And a lot of men, man, we don't learn how to receive. That's that feminine energy. But when you balance the two, that's how you become whole. So that's the most important. So it's less about hierarchy. It's more about integration. Harmonizing when both energies awaken true creative power. Like for me, that true creative power is coming from that intuition, that feminine aspect of myself. Now, how does this work, right? How does this pertain to you? To manifest the wealth you want, you need masculine, clarity, planning, taking action, as well as feminine intuition, belief, openness to receive. So you have to take action, do what you're supposed to do. Now sit back and allow things to happen. Allow yourself to receive. And a lot of times we don't know how to receive. A lot of times that's one thing we don't know how to. So I want you to balance doing with being, act, then let go. Being, act, let go. Balance doing with being, act, then let go. Let go of the outcome. And in sales, they always tell you this. You have to detach from the sale. That's feminine, but they don't talk like that. They don't say that. And the people that are successful in sales say that. The people that are like in your face, pushing, those people can be successful, but it doesn't. You want something that's going to last. I've been through the ups and downs with this. Like I've had. You can get it fast. You can get it, but you want something that's going to last. You don't want to be years later like, oh damn, I should have did it this way. Like, it's tough, man. So I went through this, y'all, so y'all won't have to do it, man. So use intuition for vision and logic for execution. Timing is important. Trust the process, that's feminine, but build systems, that's masculine. Harmonizing both awakens your full potential. So what does this video say about how meditation affects brain waves and consciousness, right? So meditation quiets the conscious mind, allowing access to theta and alpha brain waves, that states where the subconscious is more receptive. This fosters clarity, healing, and deeper alignment. And this was good, man. I know I probably zipped through it, but this was good, man. This was really good. These are things that we all can take into consideration and to help us understand really how this truly works, how all this truly works, right? So man, listen. So I want to know, which one of the 7 principles are you most ready to apply today, right? Or not even apply, but I want you just to take these and write them down. Look them up for yourself. Google them. Look them up. Put them on a poster. Start paying attention to them. Like I said, I don't want y'all to believe anything I say. I want y'all to find out for yourself. I'm gonna throw stuff at y'all. I'm gonna throw stuff at y'all. I'm gonna throw stuff at y'all that I've used, that I'm using, that I'm working on, that I'm looking to understand. And yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with everything. Like I want to see this. I want to see y'all succeed. I want to see y'all succeed. And these are things that I've been using, and it doesn't happen overnight. I had to do my research. I had to see what's real. I had to come across many different videos, many different studies to understand what I'm really doing. Does it make sense to me? So yeah, it's pretty cool. But listen, man, I appreciate y'all for staying and watching, man. I want y'all to comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think of the video. Yeah, we're gonna keep it short though. 7 hermetic laws for the day. Like I said, these are the base of the foundations of the laws of the universe.
To the trash can, please, Alex.
So do your research. Double check, fact check me. Fact check me. Okay? All right, man. Appreciate y'all. Peace.